Hello everyone. Welcome to Swiflearn. Welcome to an online platform where we teach you students online. Swiflearn company is very happy to teach you all and greet you a very good morning. Good morning everyone from Harneet Ma'am. And glad to see you all today on the last session of the topic ratio and proportions. So I hope you were able to solve the questions of your textbook and were able to do the questions and the topic really well before what was there before taking my classes, right? I hope that is the scenario. Yeah. All right. So let's start and let me introduce you to what Swiflearn Company is and what actually do we do. So, children, listen to me very carefully. See, Swiflearn is a 100% online and interactive classes. So, what is it actually? That here, 100% we teach you live classes. So, there is a teacher that is teaching you live and teaching on interactive classes. That is the main important thing. Interactive means that we are delivering you and getting the answer revert back from you. In that case, your all the doubts are cleared really well. All right. The second most important point is that in the class there are maximum of 6 students. So there will be a batch in which there will be 1 to 6 students sitting there among you on an international online platform, and where the teacher will be giving you the instructions about the topic and hearing from you also. So have you understood the topic or not? Everything is taken under consideration. All right. Then the next thing is that the dedicated academic mentor team is tracking the work of your students' progress. So what are we doing is there is a special team that takes each and everything into account. How are you performing on the class, in the class, as well as doing it on the homework platform? Okay, so we give you on a homework to you on regular basis, where you will see that where are you standing apart from the other students. So how the class is proceeding, what your situation was before, and what is now, is there any improvement or not? So each and everything is taken track of it. Okay. Moreover, we cover the syllabus as per the school exam schedule. So if you have an exam, suppose on Monday, and you have informed us before, well, before time, so what the teacher does is she teaches you that topic also, so that you are able to do good in your school exam. Okay. And the next thing is that we provide you an handle of custom requests. So thing is that if you think that you need to handle some custom requests, that is that if you need to have some handouts or some questions on that particular topic, we'll provide that also. That is extra. Okay. So due to all these 4 factors, we say that Swiflearn is India's most sincere learning destination for classes 3 to 10. So yes, from classes 3 to 10, we teach each and every class, and all the subjects are taken under this topic, okay, under consideration. Yeah. All right. So what are the key features of the company? It is that there is a detailed progress report. So there is a statistics there on your student panel, where you will see what you did 4 days before and have you improved and understood that concept more better or not. All right. So there is a track of all the recordings. Secondly, there is an Swiflearn academic test series. We call it SATs. What actually is SATs? See, the SAT is an online test series. So what is happening there? In that test series, everyone who's present at that time can give the test. So you know where do you stand. So you are on a national as well as on an international platform, because there are a lot of students from outside India who have enrolled in Swiflearn, and they follow the page, they follow the YouTube channel, and they study with us. So by which you are able to compete with them and know where do you stand. So there's a lot of chance for improvement, right? Okay. One more point is that we provide unlimited practice tests. So there are huge range of tests, whichever topic you want, how many papers you want, we are there to give you. So it's just that you need to practice, and we'll keep on giving you till the time you don't get full marks. Yes, the point is marks, but the main point behind it that you have understood the concept. So each and every minor detail of the topic is very much clear to you. That is the main thing, right? Marks are just a matter of figures. What does actually they tell? That you have understood the topic or not. So our focus is directly to the concept, right? Okay. And in especially subjective tests, that is very important for the school exam. See, you have to give the exams in schools written. And especially in mathematics, the topic which I teach, I can tell you that each and every step has its own marks, right? So to know which step you have done it right and which is the step where you are lacking behind or you're doing something wrong, that is able to see, we are able to see that with those steps, and we are able to tell you and can tell you that what exactly is wrong, and we can focus on that point. So there is not a multi option question, okay, multi choice option question where you have to just click on one option and that is direct the answer, but you have to tell us the steps as well. So that is a different thing which is not there on all the online platforms. That makes us stand apart from them. So if you think that the company is doing good and taking lots of steps towards your academics and everything, so kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel of Swiflearn Company and press on the bell icon. Why press on the bell icon? Yes, why to press it on the bell icon? Because if you press it on the bell icon, you will get the latest update, what the company is doing and what is the online class going on. So finally, by this, we will be able to connect more. You will be there with us, right? Do you want this connection, this bond to go on a little stronger? Yeah. So let's join in and please press on the bell icon. All right, so welcome to the Swiflearn Company and welcome to the Harneet Ma'am class. So what did we did in the last 3 sessions of this topic? It was ratio and proportions. Yeah, so what is ratio and proportions? What is it? Yeah, can you tell me? We have already done this. 3 sessions, right? Only on this topic. So a lot of practice. Yeah. Hello, Anshul. Yeah, what is ratio, Anshul? Yes, the ratio is a comparison. See, we are comparing two things, right? What are we comparing? We are comparing two things. What are those two things which we compare? Anything, right? But the thing is that it should have the same unit. It should have the same unit, right? Yes. So when we compare two things in terms of how many times, that is important. See, to compare the things in terms of how many times. So this term, how many times, and comparison in these terms is known as ratio. All right. But now tell me, what is proportion? Yes. Let's recall, what is proportion? Yes, proportion is nothing. When two ratios are equal, they are at the same stage, we call it proportion. That's it, right? Simple, easy. Isn't it easy? Yes. So let's do the practice session. So today the whole session is on practice. So whatever we have studied, the unitary method, the ratio, the proportion, the equivalent proportions and ratios, everything after that, today's session, the last session for the topic is only the practice session. So we'll practice various questions so that each and every question or each and every type of question is solved in this chapter. So you know how to deal with these types of questions, right? Okay, so let's start. Let's do it. Let's do the first question. What does the first question say? It says, Sheena is making a cocktail for a party. She wants to mix an apple juice and orange juice in the ratio 4:7. If Sheena wants to make 22 liters of mocktail, how much orange juice will she need for the drink? So what is the question saying? See, there is a girl, her name is Sheena, and she wants to make a mocktail for a party. Okay. And for making that mocktail, she knows that she needs two types of juices. One is apple juice, and the other is orange juice, right? So there are two types of juices. One is apple juice, one is orange juice, and she has to mix those. Mix those in which ratio? In 4:7. Okay, the ratio is also given. So if Sheena wants to make 22 liters of mocktail, so what is 22 liters in this? Can you think over it? What is 22 liters? Yes. See, 22 liters here is telling us about the total amount what she has to make. The total she has to make 22 liters. That is what is given to us. Okay, but what actually the question is asking? It's asking how much apple juice will she need for the drink? So she's only asking the amount of apple juice. So we are not considering what we want in orange juice. That is not asked in the question, right? So only one part is asked, that is apple juice. Okay. See, we know it's apple juice written first and orange juice written later. So the ratio of apple is to orange is there, right? I know it's juice. So apple juice is to orange juice. That is 4:7, right? This is what is done. Okay. How do we solve this question? How do we do it? See, 4:7. So what we have to do is 4 plus 7 to know the total, because we know ratios is written in form of fractions, right? It can be written. So in that we need to know the denominator is always the total. So for this we need to know the total of the ratio, that is 4 plus 7. What is 4 plus 7? 4 plus 7 is 11, right? That is pretty easy. Okay. Now see, I know the fraction of apple. That is what I need to calculate. So what is the fraction of apple? The fraction of apple is 4/11. 4 is the part which is given, 4:7, right? And 11 is the total. So out of the whole, it's taking out of the 11 portions, 4 portion is for the apples, right? If the whole juice has 11 units, if we divide it into 11 things, then 4 is the part of or apples. That is what we take this question as, right? This is what this question means. So now if I have to calculate the ratio or the proportion or the part or the amount of apple juice. See, I'm giving you various words. So these are the questions, the words which are there in different types of questions. So you know exactly these words are used to solve these questions. Okay. So to know how much apple juice will be there, so for that I have to multiply it by 22 so that I know exactly how much is there. Right. So on solving this, when I cancel this, it comes out to be 2. That comes out to be 8. 8 liters is the answer, right? So apple juice will be there, 8 liters. Who all got right? Yeah? Give a thumbs up if you know and you have done it. Good. All right. Okay, so now the question is clear. Can we move ahead to the next one? Or you want me to repeat it? Okay, I'll repeat this question again, okay? Just we'll go slowly for first couple of 2-3 questions and then we'll speed up, okay? So with that, you know exactly how we are proceeding, okay? All right, so see, there is a ratio given. Apple juice is to orange juice, that is 4:7. And we know the total amount of the mocktail she has to make, that is 22 liters, right? So to calculate the amount of apple juice there is, we should know the total, the whole fraction. So to know the total, let me add the ratios. So that's what I have done there. What have I done? I have added 4 plus 7. That comes out to be 11. Right? So the apple is 4 portion of apple juice, right? It's 4 over 11 of means multiplication of the total, right? Out of the total, 4 over 11 portion will be apple juice. Simple as that, right? So on solving this, I get that apple juice is equals to 8 liters. So let's see, have we got the right answer? There is their answer at the back also. We can see that. See, 8 liters. We got the right answer. Hooray. Yeah. Okay, so now moving on to the next question. So what is the next question? It says, a shopkeeper sold 60 apples and mangoes in a day. The ratio of number of apples sold to the numbers of mangoes sold is 5:7. How many mangoes are sold? So now there is a shopkeeper who is selling 60 things, in which apples and mangoes in a day. So he is selling total 60 things, in which there is some number of apples and some number of mangoes. But he knows that the ratio of number of apples, so see, apples is written first and the number of mangoes is written later, it's 5:7. That means that apple will be 5, right? And mangoes will be 7. What's written first is on the first thing, and what is written later comes at the back, right? So it's 5:7. Okay. And what is 60? Just pretty similar to the first question. So here also the total stands for 60, right? But now what have we about to calculate here? What is the question asking with us? What do we have to solve? He wants us to find out how many mangoes are sold. So we are not concerned about the number of apples. That is not asked with us. It's asking the mangoes. So what actually is happening? Before in the first question, we were finding the ratio of the first thing. It was apple is to orange. So we're finding the ratio of first apple. But now it is apple is to mango. So we are finding the ratio of mangoes. So similarly, the same process. So before calculating, what do we have to calculate? Before going to the answer, we should know the fraction. And to know the fraction, we should know the total denominator, right? Okay. So how do we calculate the denominator, the total? How do we calculate the total denominator? By? Yeah, that's right. By adding. So we will add 5 plus 7. That comes out to be 12. So I know it's 12 now. Yeah. Okay. So to calculate the mangoes, let me write. Okay, I'll write the whole. It's okay. Mangoes, it will be, what is the ratio? 7. 7 is the part out of the total of 12 of the total which I need to calculate, that is 60. Understood this? I'll repeat it again. See, the 7 is given already in the question. 5:7. So, I'm so sorry. So 7 will be on the top of the numerator. Denominator is the total. So that we have calculated the total of the two ratios, that came out to be 12. So I've written 12 at the denominator. And what is the question asking? It's asking the amount sold out of the total 60. So I know the total. So I've multiplied it by 60. Clear? So by solving it, let's do it. This becomes 10. This becomes 2. Then this becomes 5, right? I can say directly 12 5 is 60. That was also there. Okay. So 7 into 5, that comes out to be 35. So there were 35 mangoes sold out of the total of 60 mangoes. Clear? Sure? Yes. So shall we move ahead? Yeah. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Let's see. First, let's check. Have we got the same answer? Yes, we got 35 mangoes. Great. Okay, moving on to the next question. The question says, a recipe needs sugar and flour in the ratio of 1:3. If 750 grams of flour is used in the recipe, how much sugar is needed? So I know sugar, let me write sugar S for sugar and F for flour, okay? So I know the ratio of sugar is to flour is 1:3, okay? Now it says it's 750 grams of flour is needed for the recipe. So how much is it needed? 750 grams, and I need to find the proportion of the sugar. See, this generally happens when we try to bake some cakes and we see the online recipe. What does it say? Put 4 portions of this, and if we are putting 4 portions of sugar, then put 2 portions of milk. If you are putting 2, like it's a ratio, like there's a comparison between how much you're putting first, and the rest of the items keep on following in that same ratio, in that same proportion, right? So that is the same question asked that we use in our daily life. It's just the same thing. Okay, but how will this help us to solve in the daily life? This is the topic, and this is the thing. So where is that is why the ratio was there with us. The topic is there with us today. Okay, so coming back to the topic, it says 1:3, sugar is to flour. Okay, so if 750 grams of flour is used in the recipe, so if it is used in the recipe, that means how much? 750. So I know, let me write here also because I need to compare. So let me write 750. And what I need to calculate this S, or if I can say I need to calculate this X, whatever variable you want, you can choose. You can choose X, you can choose S, you can choose Y. Whatever you want, you can choose it, okay? So let me choose S here so that it will be a link and it's easy to understand that we are actually calculating the sugar that we needed, right? Okay, so now if we know this, so what actually do we need? We need the equal amount. So we need that the fraction or the ratio should be equal. So that what does the question says? That these questions are in proportionate to each other. These two ratios will be proportionate to each other. Why? Because we don't want to change the recipe, right? So what is there already? It is 1:3. That same proportion, that same quantity in the same ratio, we want it later also. Even if that flour has increased, but the proportion or the ratio should remain the same. That is the logic, or that is the way we make it, right? So for that, we need to calculate the S. How will we do it? How will we do it? See, I know this S is to F. 1:3 can be written as 1/3, right? This is the ratio of this thing. And for this, we can write S over 750. And proportionate also stands for equal to. See, there is a link, right? Till now, we have done nothing. We have just written the ratio of 1:3 as 1/3. And the ratio of sugar we need to calculate. And the flour is 750 grams. So that we have written as S over 750. This is the way we solve, right? Okay. So how will we do it? How will we know what is the sugar there? Content of the sugar that is needed. How will we calculate? Simply by bringing this 750 on this side. So we get sugar is equals to 750 over 3. That means we have to divide. So what is the content of sugar we are getting? On division, we'll get 250 grams. So we got the content of sugar will be 250 grams if the content of the flour which we have put into that bowl for baking, it is 750 grams. Got it? Yeah, were you able to solve this question? Yeah, were you? Great. Well done if you were able to solve it. So it's simple. The logic is that here is the question where the two ratios are proportionate because the same recipe is we are using the same recipe. We are not changing anything, but just changing the amount. So we are just finding an equivalent ratio in that same ratio. That is the reason we have put in an equal to sign between. And we have calculated the number of sugar content which should be there in this particular question. Clear? Yeah? Okay. Let me give you one more question of this type and let's see, are you able to solve it or not? See, we got the right answer first of all. Yeah, happy to see the right answers, right? Okay, moving on to the next question. The question number 4 says, there is a girl, Priya, who bought a book for rupees 30, and there is a girl named Shreya. She bought a book for rupees 150, right? Okay. How many times? See, how many times means to calculate the ratio. See, we are calculating the ratio. Instead of giving it directly, what is the ratio? It is asking how many times. So we know the how many times stands for ratio. Okay, so how many times is the cost of Shreya's book to that of Priya's book? So I need to calculate the ratio of Shreya is to Priya. Right, this is what I need to calculate. What is the Shreya's ratio? Well, what is the cost of the Shreya book? It is 150. So that comes out to be 150. And what is the cost of Priya's book? That comes out to be 50. I know S ratio P is equal to S over P. Right? The ratio can be written one over the other. That we know. It's simple logic. So for this, we'll write 150 over 50. Now, is it in the lowest form? Is it in the lowest form? No. So we always give the answer in the lowest terms. So why do we do that? What is the reason behind it? If I write this answer, this is also right. These are equivalent. That you are right on this part. We are thinking like this. Yes, this answer is right. But the thing is, we always try to give it in the lowest terms so that the comparison is easy. So ratio is actually comparison. We need to compare. But when the things are compared in small terms, it becomes easier to understand. It becomes easier to follow. Whereas in the bigger number, it becomes a little tough for us to follow it. There are chances where we can do some mistakes also. All right. So by solving this, I know I can solve it. I can solve this. 0, 0 gets cancelled. This becomes 3 over 1. That is equals to 3 is to 1. Is it the question? No. Is it the question, this thing? No. Why? See, it says 30 and I wrote 50. See, ma'am keep on telling you and she forgets to read the numbers. So we have to be very careful with the numbers, right? It is 30. So I'll solve it by 30. So on solving, I got 5 is to 1. So 5 is to 1 is the answer. What does 5 is to 1 mean? 5 is to 1 means 5 by 1. That means how many times is the cost of Shreya's book to that of Priya's book. So to know that, I know 5 is to 1. So for each one book of Priya, the Shreya's book is 5 times more expensive. So the answer will be 5 times. So I can write 5 is to 1 or I can directly write as 5 times. I can directly write as 5 over 1 is equals to 5 times. Okay. See, I'm repeating it again. It says Shreya is to Priya. So I know the ratio can be written as 1 over the other. So Shreya over Priya. All right. Now the cost of Shreya book is 150 rupees. The cost of Priya book is 30 rupees. So I wrote 150 over 30. So on solving this, I got 5 over 1. That is equals to 5, right? Anything over the denominator is 1. That means the numerator itself, that is 5. So we got the answer that it is 5 times more expensive. Clear? Yeah? Okay. Now, let's see. Have we got the right answer? Yes, we got the right answers. Finally, we were able to know our mistake, find the right numbers and solve it. Okay, so moving on to the next question. It says, the length of the room is 6 meters. So length is 6 meters and the breadth is 4 meters. What is the ratio of length to the breadth of the room? What is the ratio of length is to breadth of the room? So that is pretty easy. You can do it, right? I'm pretty sure you can do it. I'm giving you a few seconds to solve it. It's a direct answer. You can do it. Go ahead. Give me the answer in the comments. I'm there with you. Quickly do it. Yeah, length is to breadth, right? Yeah. So what is length? Length is 6 meters. And breadth is 4 meters. So units are same. Both are in meters. So how can we do it? Length is to breadth. I need to calculate. So it should be length over breadth. So what is length? It is 6. What is breadth? That is 4. So on solving this, that comes common in 2 tables. So on solving, that comes out to be 3 over 2. Right. That is equal to, what is the ratio? The ratio is 3:2. Simple, we got it. That was very easy, right? So we know the ratio is length over breadth. Length comes first, breadth follows it. We know the length is already given 6 meters. Breadth is also given 4 meters, and both are in the same unit. Both are meters and meters. So directly write down the answers, and we got 3:2. Pretty easy, right? Okay. Moving on, and let's see, have we got the right answer or not? Yes, we got the right answer. 3:2. Good. Next one. Let's see how to do it. Richa has 100 centimeters of ribbon and cut it in the ratio of 3:7. How much shorter is the shorter piece from the longer piece? Okay. So there is a girl, she has a 100 centimeter ribbon and she cuts the ribbon into ratio of 3:7. So ratio is given. Okay. So how much, the question is asking us to calculate how much shorter is the shorter piece from the longer one. So I have to know what is the difference. You're getting the point? How much shorter is the shorter piece? So for this, I need to calculate the difference. Difference of what? Difference of the length of the longer piece and the shorter piece. So difference between these two ribbons. Okay. So for knowing the difference, to calculate the difference, I should actually know the length of the longer one and the length of the shorter one. How will I calculate the length of the bigger part and the length of the smaller ribbon? Yeah, think over it. I'll give you a few seconds to think over it. Yeah, you can take your time. Go ahead. Yes. How will we do it? So 3:7. I know I need to calculate the longer part and the shorter part of the ribbon, right? So the longer will be, which will be the longer? 3:7. The longer would be, for that, it would be 3 or 7. Pretty easy. That is logical, right? 3 is a smaller number. 7 is a bigger number. That means the ratio of the longer one will be 7, portion of 7, and the shorter would be 3. Out of the what? Out of the whole. So what is whole? For that, we need to calculate by adding these two. I got 10. 3 plus 7, that is equals to 10. So the longer part will be 7 over 10 and the shorter part will be 3 over 10. I got this ratio. I got in terms of fraction that out of a 10 parts, 7 centimeters, out of the 10 centimeters or out of the 10 parts, the 7th part, 7 parts are for the longer one and the 3 parts are for the smaller one, right? So now the question is asking to calculate for 100 centimeters. So what will I do? I'll multiply both the things to calculate by 100 centimeters. Right. So on solving this, I got 70 centimeter. Here it is 30 centimeter. See, it is easy, right? I don't think I need to tell you this, how we reached to this point, right? Okay, so the longer one is for 70 centimeters and the shorter one is for 30 centimeters. So we have solved, we know what is the length of the longer piece, we know the length of the shorter piece, but this is what the question is asking from us. This is the answer. No, right? The answer, what they are asking is the difference between the longer piece and the shorter piece. So how do we calculate the difference? By subtracting, right? So let us subtract. So we'll subtract the longer, that is 70, minus the shorter one, that is 30 centimeter. So on subtracting these two, we get 40 centimeter. See, we got the answer. So difference between the length of the longer this length ribbon, that is to the smaller one is 40 centimeters. Okay, were you able to understand this question? Yeah, there was a little different. What did we do? We were able to calculate the longer and the shorter. These are the basic questions which we are following. But the next part, the question was to find the difference. That was a new catch in this question. So for to calculate this, we need to subtract. Okay, clear? Okay, let's see what does the answer tell. Have we solved it right or not? Yes, we did it right. 40 centimeters. Okay. Now, moving on to the next question. Okay, I want this one. You solve it first. I'll give you a few seconds. This is pretty easy. So you have to tell me which statements are true. So which of the following statements are true? So there can be many statements among these four which can be true and the other can be false. So we'll do it one by one. So first you solve the first part. Then I'll give you some time to solve the second one. Okay. First, let's solve the first part only. It says 1 is to 3 is equals to 2 is to 9. Is it true or is it false? Yeah. 1 is to 3 is equals to 2 is to 9. So are these two ratios equal? Yes or no? Yeah. Give me in the comments. I'm waiting for your answer. Is it true or is it false? Yes. 1 is to 3 as 2 is to 9. 1 is to 3 means 1 by 3. 2 is to 9. 2 by 9. Are these two fractions equal? Are these two ratios in the question equal? Yes or no? No, right? Yes. Why did you know it's no? Because we cannot solve this more. There is nothing common. It is already in the lowest term and this is also in the lowest term. So when the two things are in the lowest term and they are not equal, that means they are not same, right? This is one logic. The other thing is, let me write 1 by 3. Okay, I have to make the denominator as 9 to know they are equal or not. So I'll multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3. That comes out to be 3 by 9. Is 3 by 9 equal to 2 by 9? No, right? So if they are not equal, that means they are not same. So we can do it by both the things. One is direct. That is, see, they are already in the lowest terms. So if the lowest terms are not equal, that means they are not true, right? So the answer is false. And the other method is, why not I make the denominators same unit. So for that, I multiplied 1 by 3 fraction by 3 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So I got 3 over 9. I know that 3 over 9 is not equal to 2 over 9. That's why the answer is false. Okay. All right. Now moving on to the second part. The second part says if 30 is divided in the ratio 1 is to 2, then 10 will be the longer part. This type of question we have just done before this, right? So I know you'll be able to solve it. Try it. Give it a shot. Just try it once. So 30 is the total and the ratio of 1 is to 2 is given. And the answer is also given. I need to check is what answer we are getting on solving is same as the answer given in the question. That is 10 will be the longer part. Okay, solve it and think over it, how to proceed. And will it be 10 or will it not be 10? If not, then what will be the answer? That also we want to know, right? Okay, go ahead. Try it. 1 is to 2 of 30. So I know this will be the smaller part. This will be the longer one. 2 is long, right? So 2 over 1 plus 2. That comes out to be 3. The 2 over 3 of 30 will be the longer part, right? We know this. The longer part will be 2 by 3 of 30. So what is 2 by 3 of 30? That means 2 by 3 multiplied by 30. So on solving this, that comes out to be 20 centimeter. Or it's not given in centimeter, we can only say 20. If it is given in meter, we'll say meter. But right now there's no unit given, so I'll not write any unit. Okay, so 20 is the answer. Then 10 will be the longer part. I am getting 20. The question is saying 10. So is it right? Is it true? No. So for the second part also, the answer is false. The answer is false. See, we know it. To calculate the fraction of smaller is to longer, it's 2 over 3. Why 3? Because the total of 1 plus 2 is 3. So we wrote 2 over 3 of 30. And on solving this question's answer, we got 20. So 20 is not equal to 10, right? When 20 is not equal to 10, so we say it false. We say it false. Okay. Moving on to the next question, it says 2 is to 8 is same as 1 is to 9. 2 is to 8, this is false. 2 is to 8 is same as 1 is to 4. 2 by 8 is equals to 1 by 4. This is not in the lowest term, we can solve it. So yeah, by solving it by 2, I get 1 by 4. So yes, the answer is true. Finally got one true part, right? So the third question says that these two fractions are equal. They are same. So the answer is true. Moving on to the next one. It says 6 over 18 is proportionate. Means it's equals to 1 over 3. Let's see. 6 over 18. This is not in the lowest term. Okay, I can directly divide by 6 and I get 1 over 3. Yeah, I got it. So answer is true. So I got 2 false and 2 true. So false, false, true, true. That is the answer. Let's see. Are we getting the same? False, false, true, true. Yes, we did it. Okay, so moving on to the next question. It says, there are 20 books kept in a pile. The ratio of friction books to the remaining is 2:3. Which of the following statements are true? So similarly, you have to tell me true and you have to tell me false. So these are the parts. There are 12 friction books. For first, we need to calculate. So let's calculate the friction books and the remaining books. Okay. So I'll write friction as F and the remaining as R. Let me write in a short form, okay? So the friction book is ratio of friction is to remaining. The friction is to remaining is 2:3. So friction is 2 over 5. Why 5? 2 plus 3. I know it's 5 of 20. And the remaining is 3 over 5 of 20. Right? So that comes out to be 2 into 4. That comes out to be 8. And this comes out to be 3 into 4. That comes out to be 12. So I know their friction books are 8 and the remaining books are 12. So the first part says friction books are 12. Is it true? No. False. The remaining were 12. The friction are 8. So I got the first answer false. Moving on to the second one. It says the ratio of frictions of the remaining book is ratio of friction to the remaining is 4:6. So I know ratio of frictions over remaining. That means friction over remaining. That comes out to be 8/12. Let me solve this. Okay, let me do it by 4. Like 2, dividing it by 2, I get 4. Dividing it by 2, I get 6. So it comes out to be 4/6. That is equals to 4:6. So the answer is true. I got the true answer. Now the next part says that the friction book is 8. So yeah, I got the answer. I already know the friction book is 8. That is also true. Okay, so I have done the 3 parts and that was very easy. By getting the answer, I was able to solve it in just few seconds. Now, the last says the ratio of the remaining to the friction book. The ratio of the remaining. So what does this mean? That remaining will be on the top and the friction will be at the bottom, right? Okay, let's see. The remaining is 12 and friction is 8. So 12/8. 12/8. So on solving this, similarly, let me do it by 2 only. I'll get what? 6/4. And then solving it by 2, I got 3/2. But the question is saying 9:6. That means 9/6. Is there any way I can get it? Is there any link between these two answers? Is there any possibility that these two fractions or these two ratios are equal? Yes. Till now I got 3/2. But I know when I multiply both the numerator and denominator by 3, I will get 9/6. So here also the answer is true. Why? Because on solving it, I got the fraction that was 3/2. But by multiplying it by 3 and 3 on the numerator as well as the denominator, I am able to get the same ratio, 4:2. So that's why the answer is true. Simple. Okay. So finally, we got the answers false, true, true, true. We got 3 trues and 1 false. The first one is false and the other ones are true. Let's see. False, true, true, true. Yes, we did it. Great. Okay, now quickly give me the answer. Now we'll just see. Are you able to give it or not? Okay. So how many of the below are same as 4:5? How many of these fractions are similar to 4:5? That means 4/5 should be the answer on solving. Let's do the first one. 8/10. On solving it by 2, let's bring it to the lowest forms. We got 4/5. So the answer is true. This is right. Okay. Moving on to next one. 6/30. 6:30 is 6/30. Okay. So now solving it by, let's solve it by 3. I got 2/10. Then let me solve it by 2. I got 1/5. So is it same? Is it same? No. So this is not equal. Moving on to the next one. 16/20. Okay. I can solve it by directly by 4. That comes out to be 4/5. Yes, I want this. So this is also right. Okay. Now moving on to the next one. It says 20/25. Okay, let me solve it by 5. These both comes in the same table. That comes out to be 4/5. So that is also same. So how many are same? 3 are same. The 3 ratios that are 8:10, 16:20, and 20:25 are the equivalent ratios of 4:5. Let's see how many are the answer telling us. We got 3 ratios. Let's see. Yes, that's right. We got 3 ratios. All right. Now, finally, you got the answer, right? You got it or not? Yes? Okay. Let's do the last question for the day. Let's see what the question says. We need to calculate the true or false. The 7th is the third part of 21. Inversely means in reputation, in opposite, in reverse. It says 21 is 3 times of 7. So it says the 7th of the third part of 21. So what is 7 of the 21 is the third part. Third part means, see, if there is a whole cake, we have cut it into 3 parts and we are talking about the third part. In that particular question, we have done in the fraction, that is 1 by 3. We call it the third part. Okay, so to know the ratio of 7 is to 21. So 7 is to 21 is 7 over 21. So on dividing it by 7, I'll get 1 over 3. That means that this part is true. Okay, now in reverse of it, the saying the same thing in some other terms, in the just opposite, it means that 21 over 7 should be equal to 3 times. Let's solve this. That becomes 3 over 1. That is equals to 3. That means 3 times. So yes, this is also true. Both are true. So the answer is true, right? Yes, 7 is to 21 is 1/3, whereas 21 is to 7 is 3 times. So yes, we did it. So the answer of this question is true. I hope you were able to do it. Yeah? Were you able to do it? This was very easy, right? So in this, we are able to know that the ratios are in the same thing. It can be 1 over 3 or it can be 3 times. It's just the way we are looking at it. It's just the way we want to read it. But the values remain the same. If we change the numerator and denominator up and down, so 3 by 1 will be equal to 1 by 3. Right? So looking the same thing from some other angle. That is only the difference in this. All right. Clear? Okay then. Thank you so much for joining us today and understanding the topic better. I hope you are now able to solve every question or every type of the things of ratio and proportions. So I think you enjoyed the lesson. You had a great time with us, and even I had a lovely time teaching you all lovely students there. Hope to see you again in some other topic. We'll bring more exciting things for you so that you understand maths really, very good and all the minor doubts are cleared. Okay. Hope you like the session. And if you really do it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the bell icon on the Swiflearn company so that you don't miss any update. All right. So hope to see you next time. Be on time. Please be a little interactive so that we can have a lovely session. And the most important thing, please visit the Swiflearn company website and go to the curriculum what we are doing. And if you think it's worth it, kindly enroll into it. Because in this, I am only teaching you, but still there would be some doubts or some point you are not able to clear at that very point. So the thing is cleared on that topic, and at that point is only possible on an interactive class when you enroll with us, right? We try our level best to give you the best thing online. But see, still there are some points which you think you're not clear with, which are lagged behind, which maybe you've not able to solve that, or maybe you have done some minor mistake of multiplication or division. So to know and to calculate that, we need to solve. So for that, you need to enroll with us and in the live session so that each and every doubt is taken into consideration. All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much for taking out your spare time and studying with us. It was a lovely time together. Have a great day ahead. Enjoy yourself. Okay, then goodbye. See you next time.